Hello everyone, it's Dr. Manjiri Narkani, Ayurvedic MD, registered holistic nutritionist, back today for day 79. So today we're talking about cholesterol, right? So this is one of the most important topics. This is one of the most asked questions that I get. And in fact, my MD thesis was on cholesterol and triglycerides. And I was trying to find out the clinical efficacy of an Ayurvedic formulation along with dietary and lifestyle changes. Like that was a controlled trial. So that's where I really dove deeper into the whole thing about cholesterol, how it matters. Is it really that relevant? Is it really that as bad as people claim it to be? So that is what we're going to discuss today. Cholesterol is a big myth, and you must have heard about the myth of the cholesterol, right? Why it doesn't always help with your heart condition. So we're going to discuss about all that. Again, this is not a one-on-one medical advice. This is a general advice. I'm not familiar with your situation. I'm just giving you information based on my knowledge. So anything I talk about is not about a patient or a nutritionist or a doctor-patient relationship. So if you're on medications, I would always advise you to connect with your medical professionals. You can talk to your pharmacist, you can talk to your doctors. But if you're on medications already, do not stop the medications without consulting anybody. So that's one suggestion for sure. So let's get started. So what exactly is cholesterol, right? So people talk about, having high blood cholesterol issues as a risk for heart disease. That's what was propagated in the olden days. But that is a big myth, So about the science, which is 50 years ago, was talking about how cholesterol is creating all these heart attacks, and that is not true anymore because we've seen different factors. There are different factors like insulin resistance, which is coming up, which is one of the biggest culprits for most health issues that we face today. There's the free radical theory. There's a lot of inflammation, which can be responsible for different issues, including heart disease. So we're also going to discuss that. But what exactly is cholesterol? So to understand what I'm talking about, we have to first talk a little bit about cholesterol. So cholesterol is a waxy fat-like substance that occurs naturally in your body, right? So most people think that it's harmful, but the fact is that it is an essential requirement for your body. It contributes to the structure, membrane structure of every cell in your body. You also need cholesterol to make your hormones. You also need, because cholesterol serves as a precursor to different hormones and also for vitamin D. So if you haven't checked out my video on vitamin D, I have done the first of the Wellness Wednesdays yesterday on the Blue Water Nutrition page. So you can go back and check that video. I've spoken all about vitamin D, and you need this cholesterol to be able to make your vitamin D and help with it as well. So without cholesterol, you're not going to survive. Your body needs cholesterol, and it can actually make all the cholesterol that it needs. And there are certain foods that we talk about. So eggs, meat, full fat dairy products, they also have cholesterol in it. And dietary cholesterol is not the biggest source of cholesterol. The main source of cholesterol is the one that you make in the body. So that's the difference between the two. Hello, Uttamji. Thanks for watching live. So if you are watching this live, you can say a quick hi. If you are watching this as a replay, you can put a hashtag as replay. At any point of time, if you have questions about cholesterol or cortisol, which is something we're also going to discuss a little bit, or any kind of issues, feel free to post it in the comment section. Again, I won't be able to give a one-on-one advice, but any general questions are more than welcome. So let's go back and talk about cholesterol issues. So again, so cholesterol, so when people talk about cholesterol in relation to heart health, usually they talk about lipoproteins, right? So lipoproteins are structures which actually carry this cholesterol in your bloodstream, right? They're made up of fat, and they also have protein on the inside, and that's why they're known as lipid and protein, lipoprotein. So two main ones are the low density lipoprotein and the high density lipoprotein. The low density lipoprotein is the one uh, which comprises about 60 or 70% of your total lipoproteins. And commonly, this is something that's known as bad cholesterol, right? So LDL, or low density lipoprotein, is again known as the bad cholesterol, and in the olden days it was linked to atherosclerosis or building up a lot of plaque in your heart, right? And having high amounts of this bad cholesterol is what is associated with a risk of heart disease. That was what was said initially. And the LDL size is extremely important. And because LDL is something that deposits this cholesterol in different parts of the body, right? So if you have excess LDL, then you have a greater risk to develop heart disease. Okay, I can see a few more people join in. If you are watching this live, you can say a quick hi. If you watch this as a replay, you can say, like, put a hashtag as replay. And we have been discussing about cholesterol. We are discussing what exactly cholesterol is. We're also discussing why it's necessary, that we're going to discuss in some time, and what are the different kinds. So when we talk about a low density lipoprotein, or when we talk about high density lipoprotein, so HDL is something that's going to pick up this excess cholesterol from your body and take it back to the liver. The LDL is the one that's going to take it from the liver and deposit it in different parts of the body, right? So HDL is something that has a protective action. It's often referred to as good cholesterol for your body. And when you have this HDL, because it's taking all the cholesterol back and taking it to the liver for processing it, it's known as, the good cholesterol. So how is dietary cholesterol, in relation to your blood cholesterol? So the amount of cholesterol in your diet and blood are different things. Most people think that if they eat eggs, or if they're eating meat, or if they're eating, they're drinking milk or having yogurt or having cream, right? That is going to raise their blood cholesterol levels. But usually that is not true. Your body actually regulates the amount of cholesterol by controlling the production. So when your dietary cholesterol goes down, your body is going to actually make more, because your body needs this cholesterol for healing. Your body needs this cholesterol for patching up things in the body. Your body also needs this cholesterol for your hormones. If you don't have cholesterol, you're not making any hormones. You're not going to be able to synthesize vitamin D. So that's why you need this cholesterol. And when you're eating greater amounts, your body is not going to make as much, which is also relevant in some people, right? So the one thing to understand is, cholesterol in your body, in your liver, is also secreted or made extra in terms of inflammation. If your body is extremely inflamed, or if there are any oxidative processes going on in the body, your body is going to make more cholesterol. Your body is going to secrete a lot more cholesterol, even though you're not eating it. And this is also true for vegetarians or vegans who don't have a lot of animal foods which have cholesterol in the body, right? Or in them. So this is also extremely true for everyone. And when we talk about dietary cholesterol, and when we talk about disease, heart disease, so heart disease is really not caused by this cholesterol, right? Heart disease is caused by different factors. So we have gone on this fat-free bandwagon in the past few years, in the past few decades. And, you should stop eating fat because it's going to increase your cholesterol. You should stop eating fat because it's making you fat. The problem that we see today is people are sicker than before. We have seen the cases of dementia or Alzheimer's increase exponentially in the past few decades, right? We have seen a lot of stressors on the body since we stopped eating good fat. So fat is not the problem. Foods having cholesterol is not the problem. Our diets, which are full of inflammatory products or preservatives, which can create a lot of oxidative stress on the body, or refined sugars, which can increase your inflammation, that is the problem, right? So when we talk about heart disease, when we talk about, oh my God, the cholesterol, so cholesterol, it is a marker, right? It is a marker that shows that you have excess inflammation. There are different markers that we can also use. So there are some like C-reactive protein, there are going to be different markers in the body that show that you have high amounts of inflammation. And cholesterol is a marker. So if you take it as a marker, that's a good idea. But cholesterol by itself is not going to create heart disease in your body unless you have other factors going on. Hello, Ushaji, nice to see you. So different factors when we talk about heart disease. So what are some factors? Inflammation, sugar, a really poor diet, excess fried foods, they can all be inflammatory. Drinking, eating foods, dairy, if it's not prepared the right way, or sometimes with the conventional farming nowadays, even the milk can have a lot of inflammatory products, right? So the milk could be totally inflamed, but it's not the cholesterol in the milk that's the problem. That's been taught to us, right? Oxidative stress, there could be a lot of stressors on the body through different free radicals that your body also generates on a daily basis. If your body is not detoxifying regularly, if you're not getting enough sleep, if you're fasting for too long, if you're exercising without eating right for your body, so these all contribute to stresses on the body. Then having high blood pressure is also a stressor on the body. When we talk about heart, when you have high blood pressure, your heart has a lot of pressure on it to pump, and so that itself is a marker for heart disease or heart conditions. And smoking has been studied to be a big factor involved in heart disease, right? So when we talk about heart disease, lipoproteins can actually drive the cholesterol around, but cholesterol is not the problem, right? But if you're frying foods, if you're frying cholesterol rich foods, if you're frying eggs, or if you're frying any of the fatty foods or animal foods, fried chicken or something at a high temperature or on high heat, it forms something known as oxysterols, and that can be harmful to you, right? So these can create inflammation, these can create heart disease. So try to be a little bit mindful. Hello, I can't, because my laptop isn't open right now. I'm doing it through my desktop. I can't see who's live from my Facebook group, but thank you for watching this live. And we're discussing cholesterol today. So there has been a lot of research, so the study that was done, whether we call China study or different studies. So the study that was done, which showed that, cholesterol was the big thing that created a lot of heart disease. This data was sort of cherry picked, right? So if you look at the modern research, if you look at the recent research, if you look for high quality research, dietary cholesterol has no association with the risk of heart disease, right? And specifically, there is a lot of research conducted on eggs specifically, right? And eggs have a lot of cholesterol. The egg yolk is really fatty, but you also need good fat to be able to absorb protein in the body. You also need good fat for all the structure of your cell membranes. You also need good fat for lubrication, for your eyes or your even bowel function. You need good fat for your brain. So fat-free diets, again, are not the way. Getting rid of cholesterol, getting rid of fat from your diet, it's just going to make you sick. It's going to make you tired. It's going to make your skin sag. It's going to make you lose your skin texture. It's going to make you lose your hair texture, right? And one of the reasons, a lot of the times people talk to me about my skin, and I eat lots of ghee or clarified butter. In Ayurveda, we talk about ghee as one of the best things in the world. So having lots of good quality fat in your diet is the answer. And most animal products would contain cholesterol. Now, if you have excess amounts of cholesterol in your body, which is creating a lot of inflammation, one of the answers is having plant sterols, right? So when you look at plant fats, they can actually help balance this excess cholesterol that your body is producing. And when you have a lot of plant-based diets, you also have good amounts of fiber that is going to flush your system out. So when we talk about flushing the system out, it actually takes all the toxins out. It's going to have like a gentle scrubbing bubble action. It's going to clean up your bowels because the fiber in plant-based foods is really essential. And certain components of fiber are also important for your probiotics, right? So when we talk about good bacteria in the gut, when we talk about microbiome or probiotics, if you invite people to your home and if you're not feeding them, they're not going to stay for a long time, right? So one of the most important things for you to do is also welcome them and make them stay and give them good food, right? So this is also important when we talk about plant fats or plant sterols or plant based foods in general. So having plant based foods, when we talk about heart disease, there are lots of studies done that show that having a more plant based diet can help reverse any conditions and also help with heart disease. Hi Himakshi, how are you? What else was I going to talk? Okay, so the question now for most people is, should you avoid cholesterol foods, right? So cholesterol foods need not be avoided. Uh, People who are having, eggs or full fat dairy products, don't go for like skim milk or skim milk is way more processed than homogenized, or full fat milk, right? Or just the whole milk. So try not to take the fat out from your foods. That's not going to contribute to weight loss. It's going to contribute to you being unhealthy, right? Because your eyes start getting dry, your skin starts getting dry. A lot of the structural functions in your body are not going to occur well. Your cells are not going to get enough support if you're not getting good fat in your diet. You need good fat in your diet. Hi, Sanika, nice to see you. So when we talk about different kinds of foods, like fish oils or omega-3s, if you have salmon, which is a fattier fish, that's actually going to provide you with your omega-3s. Sardines or tuna or, different fish, you can definitely have those as well. Shellfish in moderation, because shellfish, shrimp, clam, crab, they're all crustaceans which are good sources, like which have enough cholesterol, but the cholesterol in the shellfish is not the problem. It's that they're much heavier to digest according to Ayurveda, right? So shellfish, you could be allergic easily, or you could also have issues digesting it. They take a long time to digest. They're really heavy to digest, and because they're also bottom feeders, they could have lots of mercury in them, so be mindful. So having wild caught fish is a better option than having shrimp all the time, and not specifically for cholesterol purposes, but specifically because of health reasons, right? So we talked about that, and animal liver as well. So animal liver, to eat the liver or not is another story. So totally, if you like that, you can enjoy it occasionally. And it also has good vitamins. It also has good iron and different components. So different ways for lowering your cholesterol, so if you have high cholesterol and if you're really struggling with cholesterol and your doctor is asking you to lower your cholesterol, one thing you have to do is cut the sugar out of your diet, cut a lot of processed foods out of your diet, cut fried foods out of your diet, right? So you don't have to necessarily get rid of eggs, but don't fry those eggs at high temperature, or don't go for, any breaded fish sticks which are like deep fried, because that's going to create issues in your body. And occasionally you can enjoy certain fried foods, but try to shallow fry it. Don't fry different foods, potato chips or something at high temperatures, because they can also be toxic to your system, right? So dietary changes, also exercising, something as simple as doing yoga in the morning, something as simple as jogging or walking or stretching, whatever it is that you do, have a consistent routine for stress management, right? And also have a consistent exercise routine, maybe 30 minutes every single day. You can pick one thing, do it for every single day, or you can switch between different things. But lifestyle is also an important factor that can help with cholesterol. It's not just related to your diet. So if you are someone who's struggling with high blood cholesterol, right, you can definitely use exercising. You can try to lose weight if you are carrying excess weight in your body, if you're carrying excess fat in your body, if there's a lot of fat on your organs, especially in the belly region, that is harmful to you, right? That is very like reactive fat. It can create a lot of harm. It can create a lot of inflammation in your organs as well. So be extremely careful about, excess fat in your body. And a lot of fat in your body is contributed by poor diet because of excess sugar, right? And not because of excess fat if you're looking at cleaner fats. Hi, Himakshi. Oh, so it was Vijay. Okay. I saw two different. I thought you were using the same account. Um, so there are different foods that can actually help you lower cholesterol. So when we talk about different foods, plant-based foods have phytosterols, even having good quality omega-3s. So something like flaxseed can also help lower your cholesterol, right? Chia seed, different fibers, these also have omega-3s, and omega-3s are also anti-inflammatory. So when you have lots of inflammation in the body, they're going to take care of this inflammation and reduce your inflammation. And also, having avocados, which is a good monosaturated fat. You can have legumes, you can have chickpeas, you can have beans, you can have different kinds of nuts, you can have, non-GMO soy foods, you can have tempeh or miso. Tofu can be harder to digest for some people, but fresh fruits, green leafy vegetables, adding all these to your diet will help you reduce cholesterol. And there are studies done that even a modest weight loss, if you're losing 5 or 10% weight, so not like drastic weight loss, but even a 5 or 10% of weight loss can really help lower your cholesterol. And it can also lower the risk of heart disease in you, right? So this is something especially to understand if you have a history of heart conditions, or if you are someone who's not been healthy for a long time, or if you are someone who has an extremely stressful job, or if you have a sedentary job, right? So when you sit down and you're working or you're sitting down all day, it becomes challenging for you to, be active, and you're not going to circulate well. Your body's not going to detoxify well, and that's when you could have a lot more inflammation in your body. So the thing with cholesterol is not the culprit, right? So when we talk about cholesterol or we talk about calorie counting, in the olden days, and they're both really dead, the biggest factor that is shown today, right, when you look at the emerging evidence, when you look at the new studies, the biggest predictor of cardiovascular disease and type 2 diabetes is insulin resistance, right? So you're having this insulin, which is your sugar balancing hormone, but your cells are not recognizing it. And that could be because of excess sugar, that could be because of high stress levels, because your mind has a huge capacity to impact your body. Your mind is definitely going to play a big role in, different health conditions in your body if you're not healthy mentally, right? So whether you have anxiety, whether you have depression, whether you have any other conditions, like bipolar or something, also try to look at the sugar piece, right? Try to balance your blood sugar. Try to see if you have issues like insulin insensitivity. And in women, one of the most common features of, insulin resistance is also a condition called polycystic ovarian syndrome. So if you are diagnosed with PCOS, if your cycles are all over the map, right, you need to take charge and change your diet and change your lifestyle, because simple changes can add up to a lot of benefits, and simple changes can totally turn your life around. So this is something that I just wanted to talk about. If you look at statins, so a lot of people are on statin drugs, which are lipid lowering drugs or cholesterol lowering drugs. They have a lot of side effects of their own. So if you are someone who's already on a certain drug, there are different, or if you are somebody who's not on a drug, so there is a vitamin B, a vitamin from B complex, niacin, that can actually help lower your cholesterol if that's what you're extremely worried about. So that's a natural way to lower cholesterol. There are different natural options available, in the market if you're extremely worried about it. But there is absolutely no replacement to changing your diet and lifestyle, right? So if you have any questions, you can post it in the comments. If you have any questions later on, you can always tag me in the comments and ask me any questions. And if you know someone, who's not healthy, if you know someone who has a history of heart disease and who has high cholesterol levels, tag them in this video or share this video with them, so at least they know that they need to change their diet and lifestyle, right? So thank you all for watching this live. We are at about 27 minutes, so it's not too bad of a video. So thank you so much for watching this live. I have changed a little bit structure when it comes to the Facebook Live. So I'm going to do the 100 days of Ayurveda twice in a week, 8 o'clock on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And Wednesdays at 1 o'clock, I'm going to go live from the Blue Water Nutrition page, right? So if you haven't been in the store, please visit us at Blue Water Nutrition. We have lots of different supplements. We have lots of herbs and vitamins, like anything that you want. It's like a one-stop shop. So you can, feel free to visit us at the store. And every Wednesday, we are starting a segment called Wellness Wednesdays. So at 1 o'clock, I'm going to go live and I'm going to talk about different topics. Yesterday was all about vitamin D. I have some topics set up for next week. I'm not quite sure what I've planned. I don't have it handy right now. So thank you for watching. Again, for this week, we have quite a few interesting things. On Saturday, I am going to interview Joey, who's a very good friend of mine. He's a Jyotish. He's also an Ayurvedic practitioner, and he is going to discuss with us Yoga Nidra, the science of meditative rest, right? So Yoga Nidra is an extremely powerful tool to help recover your body, to help, boost your memory, to help balance your stressors, to help clear out a lot of, false beliefs or what we call past samskaras on your system. So it is a fantastic tool called Yoga Nidra, where you are actually lying down, but you're conscious, so you're not really sleeping. So it's like the yogic sleep is what it's called. So the interview will take place on my Facebook group at 11 o'clock. And we will also be broadcasting it live on my YouTube page, Dr. Manjiri Narkarni. So feel free to join me for this amazing, amazing video on Yoga Nidra, interview on Yoga Nidra, and it's going to be really exciting. And I have done a study during my MD years on Yoga Nidra when I was taking another course, and it's pretty amazing to see the results of Yoga Nidra. So I've experienced it myself. I've taught it to different students. I practice it in my own practice, and it is really, really effective. So thanks once again, everyone, for watching this live. Thank you so much for all your support. Inflammation of organs. So your organs can also, so inflammation, we talk about low grade inflammation where things are not working as well. Sometimes you could also have excess fat deposition around your organs, and that can also be understood as inflammation. Sometimes they're not functioning well. That can also be. So there are different markers that you can see for inflammation of different organs, and we can go much deeper into this, at a later time. So thank you once again for watching this live, and I will see you all soon. And if you are based in Sarnia, I'll also see you on Sunday. For the temple, will be hosting a talk at 11:30, I believe. So someone's asking me which oil is good for cooking. I prefer coconut oil because that's the medium chain fatty acid and you can absorb it really well. Olive oil, try not to heat it to high temperatures. Canola oil is not really healthy. You can use grapeseed oil if you want a neutral oil. Peanut oil, again, is not as healthy. Sesame oil, you can always, add it on top. um, or you can use heat it on a low flame when cooking. So with oils, try not to heat it at a higher temperature, right? Especially the oils which are monosaturated, the structure can change, right? So there is another video I've done on fats. I'm going to see if I can find that and tag either you on the video or tag the video here. So I'm going to see that, but I've talked about all about fats, and I have explained, monosaturated fats and polysaturated fats, what exactly they are. So you'll find a lot of answers to those videos because you're in the group. So if you are in my Facebook group, you can just go on to the documents or the files, and there is a file called 100 Days of Ayurveda. So in that file for 100 Days of Ayurveda, you can access the links to all my previous videos. And there's another file called, I think, nutrition videos, where you can see all the other live videos that I've done. So all the links are added right there. You don't have to keep searching here and there, you can just go access the file and you can look at different videos. So thank you once again for watching. It's getting a little bit dark now. It's 8:30. Uh, Thanks once again. Have a fantastic night, and I will see you all on Saturday. Have a good week till then, and namaste. Bye for now.